Ooh. Okay. Got my vape and CD. It's been a while, I think. And I figured I'd just get on here and record something or other just because I had a bit of free time. And I have a new development, a new guitar. It's a Spanish guitar. It's got the old nylon strings. It's actually my grandma's, and she got it in like the 70s or something. And I looked up like the brand of it on the inside. It's called like Suzuki Spanish guitars. Suzuki Violin Co. Ltd. Out of Nagoya, Japan. And I figured, what better to play on a Spanish guitar than some Seattle emo. I figure that's pretty good. And what better Seattle emo than Circa40? Whoo! This came in the mail like a month ago, I think. Circa40 is a dope band. If you haven't heard of Circa40, you're about to. I fucking love Circa40. This is a great album. It's a debut album as well. It's got like 8 songs on it or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe it's only got 5. No, it's definitely got more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 songs supposedly. 7 songs. Yeah, great album. My favorite from the album, I think, is Pizza. And then after that, close second would be Don't Throw Up in My Car. Then outro. Then You Will Leave Me Behind. Then Shadow Flow 8 Ball. Then either Lost Mary or Lobster. I don't know, tied for last. They're all great songs. Undeniable bangers. Yeah. For a comeback, I think I'll play Pizza. So it's a really nice tuning. I don't know if this is the tuning that they use because I sort of just learnt it by ear. It's addictive intro there. And I think it's open D, like it'll be open D like first 3 strings, 4 strings, and then for the 4th string it's 1 half step down from standard, and the other one is like up a bunch, and then high E is the exact same as. So I might as well play it. I hope I don't mess up. I'll try to remember the lyrics as best as I possibly can.
Gone away and I'll be back.
Yeah, great song. I love that. Like, it gets you straight into the action. And the great thing about the album is it's definitely a listen from start to finish sort of piece. Because the first song's called Outro. It's the intro to the album. But you wouldn't be able to tell because it's called Outro. Although you would, because it's the first songs. It is the intro to the album. It's called Outro. And it's like, it's really like soft. And it's something like that. Anyway, it's something like that, and then when it finishes, sort of just sort of fade out, and then it comes back. And then every other instrument comes in. So glad, so not when I'm without you. So cool. That is so cool. Going away and I'll be back soon. Be back soon. Yeah, it's great. Heavy gas. You know, I see whenever I scroll on Instagram, I get a lot of rock stuff, a lot of emo stuff on my feed, but I end up getting a lot of music pages where it'll be like, Green Day's best. Green Day did it drunk and high, and now all these modern artists only mumble through their lyrics. It's like, dude, first of all, you're ignorant, right? I mean, it is so. I feel like it's almost difficult to praise one specific time of music as this was good, and now it's bad, because you got to realize that there were people back in like the 2000s, the late 90s, that were like, oh, this music is shit, man. You know, Pink Floyd is where it's at. Jimi Hendrix would go on stage and fucking rip that guitar, and he was doing crazy solos, and he was wasted out of his mind, which is, you know, of course, true. But aside from, if we just get rid of the performing drunk and high thing, like, there is always going to be a field of people, a whole colony of people that, I mean, dude, you can like whatever music you like. If you like the old stuff, like the old stuff. But don't say that current day music is bad just because your scope of modern music is so small, you know? And even still, even if like they are, you know, for example, I assume a lot of the time they're talking about like opium music, you know, like net spend and shit. They're probably talking about rap. Let's be honest. It's probably a little bit racist. They're talking about rap. And that also shows that they just haven't really delved into it. Like, they haven't heard Fetty Wap. You kidding me? 1738? They haven't heard that. They haven't listened to Lil B, I Am God, you know, or Birth of Rap, you know. They actually haven't listened to anything that's like actually good, because they haven't explored it. You know, if you listen to only the popular stuff from the 60s, you'll be like, it's good, but it's not phenomenal. You know, it goes the same way. You know, it's like the surface level stuff from the 60s. You got Beach Boys, you know, the popular songs from the Rolling Stones. It's like, I mean, it's very easy to like put that stuff into boxes and downgrade it to what it is. You know, Rolling Stones is just like, gentrified black music. I mean, essentially, it didn't really invent rock and roll. That's like that sort of shit does get old. But, you can delve into shit and find more, a niche with air quotes, because it's not niche at all, but like Pink Floyd's Animals, like that's a phenomenal album. Most mainstream listeners of the time probably didn't hear it. You had to be into Pink Floyd. You have, I mean, modern day, you have to be into Pink Floyd to be listening to all their albums. I mean, they got some long albums. Yeah, I don't know. The same thing goes for today, because I see a lot of people, and I have to like peel myself off the screen and stop myself from commenting, because there'll be people being like, oh, all we have is this hip techno bullshit today. And it's like, dude, you just don't know. Like, this whole West Coast scene with like shit like Circa40, February, Train Breaks Down, First Day Back, Versus Self, September is the only time I don't think of you. Like, all of these like amazing bands, right? That all do they do DIY shows. They have tons of young people going to their shows. They're extremely talented. I mean, Ian Herzberg, I think his name is, from Train Breaks Down, it's like my favorite guitarist. This guy is like nuts. If you watch any performance, he's just fucking destroying that guitar. Like really good riff building, all that sort of shit. Everything you need out of musicians. And their bands, the bands are tight as fuck. I mean, February is super tight. First Day Back is really tight. First Day Back kind of blew me away because they have, they got the two guitarists, bass guitarist, lead singer, drummer, obviously. But the lead singer also plays like violin, and violins, that's a difficult instrument. Like, and the fact that they can all stay so tight when they have these complex, like really jingly songs. So I think they're second wave emo revival. And I read an article from that. They seem like really interesting people, and they seem so down to earth and cool. And it's just this underground culture it's not going anywhere, and it's just ignorance from. If I'm gonna do some public shaming, it's ignorance from people who listen to mainstream rock and are sad because mainstream has changed. Yeah, mainstream will always change, dude. Like, mainstream, I feel like the stream in the word is the big kicker here, because streams, they wiggle, they move, they go different directions. Over time, they carve out different paths, and it's like, it's just ignorance. It's ignorance is what it is, because there is so much amazing music out there in the world, and these, I don't know if ignoramus is the word, these folk are just corrupting themselves and giving in to their own ideological preconceptions that are ultimately, they're very wrong and they're stupid. Yeah, I would love to start a debate about this in the comment sections. If you have an opinion, drop it down there. If you think that there will never be another Nirvana, or there will never be, I've heard that's bad phrasing, so yeah, obviously. But if you think that rock music is dead, drop it down below. If you think that young kids, hip kids performing music for their friends is dead, drop it down below. If you disagree with that, if you think that the West Coast scene is a revival of youth culture, drop it down below. I kind of disagree. Drop it down below. And one more thing I would like to bring up. One more thing, because this is so big in like local music scenes anywhere you go, is that most of the people that drive the local music are Gen X. Kudos to Gen X. I think Gen X is pretty cool, because they obviously had all the great music from the 90s. These guys were hard rockers, punk rockers even, and I give a lot of kudos to them, but they're ruining music. They're ruining local music scenes because you have these music clubs that you'll go to where, oh, it seems really cool, so you'll stick around for a bit, but then you realize it's only old people here, you know? And it's because it's 18 plus, because they have to make money on the bar. What you don't realize is that in itself is absolutely going to kill your local music scene, because if you want niche, interesting bands to stay together, you don't pay them. You give them fun performances with a lively crowd. It's like if I was playing with my band and like it was in front of a bunch of old people and they're all sitting there on a couch like this. And then they'll clap in between a song. Yeah, cool, good fun. Maybe I get paid a bunch. I would much rather play a gig for free. There were a bunch of fucking teenagers and shit moshing, having like at the time of their lives, and maybe completely sober, maybe they're drinking. That's their prerogative, you know. But I would much rather not get paid anything and see a crowd have a fun time. That's how you keep music culture alive. And I went to a great gig. It was called the Bone Shed, and it was in a shed, and it was just like it was all ages. So people were there with their young kids who had their earmuffs on and they were watching the music, which I think is great cultural experience. That's what builds character. And then there were also 16, 17-year-olds who some of their mates were playing in bands, and then they were moshing and going hard. It's like, hell yes, brother, hell yes. That's what we need. We don't need a bunch of old people sitting around leaning on the wall, being geriatric with their they got rheumatic hands and they're sitting there. Ooh, it's cold, you know. But that's my spiel. As I said, if you have opinions on this, I would actually really love to hear them. So drop them in the comments below, because I love starting conversations like this with my friends and shit. Yeah, this has been a passionate conversation. You should fuck with the fit. Yeah, alright. See you guys later. Next in 5.